Welcome to Mwalimu channel. Today I want to take you through a question that will involve similarity and differentiation at the same time. If you read this question, that you find the base radius of a cylindrical hole with maximum volume which can be drilled into cone of height 16 cm and radius 12 cm as shown below. Calculate the volume of the remaining wood material. So you realize the term maximum volume, it is the reason why we shall do differentiation. So we shall use enlargement in the sense, similarity in the sense that for us to find the radius, here, assume the radius of this small cone. You see from here, it forms a small cone. If we call it R, this R will be equal, because this is the cylinder with the same R, the cylinder here has the same R up to this point, it's the same R, the radius. And now from here to here, the height of this cylinder, the height of the cylinder, if the height from here, if we let now the height from here to the small cone, if we let the height to be h, the height of the small cone we let it to be h. So that means the height of the cylinder will be now the whole height 16 minus this height which is h, 16 minus h. If that becomes the height of the cylinder, and we know now the radius of the cylinder is r, which is equal to the radius of the smaller cone, become the radius of the smaller cone. So if we use similarity and enlargement, if this is the larger cone, the radius of the larger cone is 12, so we will say that 12 out of the radius of the smaller cone is r equals to the height of the larger cone. The height of the larger cone is 16 all over the height of the smaller cone, which is h. Then, if we cross multiply, it will be 12h equals to 16r. If I make h the subject here, it will be h equals to 16r all over 12. So that means 4 here will be equal to 4 here is 4, 4 here is 3r. So that is the value of h. So if that is the value of h, and we know volume of a cylinder, for us to get the volume of a cylinder, we know that volume of volume of a cylinder, it is V equals to pi r squared h. And our h here is 16 minus h, minus this h. So our volume equals to our pi, it is pi r squared. That is the radius is r, so that is r squared into the height. The height is this height here, which is 16 minus h. The height is 16 minus h, and our h is 4 over 3r, minus h is 4 over 3r. So this, we open, it will be V equals to pi r squared. That is 16 pi r squared. If we open this bracket, it will be 16 pi r squared. Then 4 over 3, that is minus 4 all over 3 pi r cubed. Because r squared times r is r cubed. So that is our volume of the cylinder. If that's the volume of the cylinder, and we are told to get the maximum volume. At the maximum volume, we know at maximum volume, we know that dV all over dV all over dr in this case, all over dr equals to 0. So dV all over dr equals to 0. So we need to find dV from here. We need to find dV from there. That is dV all over dr will be equal to, we differentiate this one, it becomes 32. The power of r multiplies by 16 becomes 32, and the power reduces by 1, and therefore it will be 32 pi r. 32 pi r, then minus this 3 multiplies here, then 3 will cancel when it multiplies here, this 3 will cancel, it remains with the 4 pi r squared, because r will reduce by 1. The power of r will reduce by 1, so it becomes 4 pi r squared. So this minus 4 pi r squared. And we know this one because it's at maximum volume, so it will be equal to 0. It implies that 32 pi r minus 4 pi r squared equals to 0. We factor out, we shall be having 4 pi is 4 pi r will be common. 4 pi r, or if I take just, I can take 4 pi r because it will be common, or through 4 pi r into, now this comes here, 4 comes here to 8, pi will cancel and r will cancel, so it is 8 minus 4 comes there, it will cancel 4, pi will cancel, r will cancel and remain 1 r. This is equal to 0. So it implies that 4 pi r equals to 0, whereby everything will be 0, or 4, it implies that 8 minus r equals to 0, and therefore if you take r the other side, 8 is equals to r. Therefore our r equals to 8 centimeters because we were dealing with centimeters. We were dealing with centimeters. So our radius is 8 centimeters, that's the first question. Then from there, the other question you're asking to find the volume of the material that remained, the remaining. So if it was drilled here, the remaining material is the volume of the whole cone minus the volume of the cylinder, whereby that is going to be volume of good that remained, it will be equal to a third pi r squared h. A third pi r squared h will be enabling you to get the height, the volume of the cone, then minus pi r squared h, the volume of the cylinder. So here we shall be having a third pi r, our r squared, that is the radius of the cone, it is 12, that is times 12 squared, times 12 squared, and then times the height of the cone is 16. What you get, you minus pi r squared, radius now becomes 8, we have got it, the radius to be 8, times 8 squared, then times the height. The height of the cylinder, is 16 minus h, which is 16, the height of the cylinder, height of cylinder, from here equals to 16 minus h, and our h, which is equal to 16 minus, our h we got here, 4 over 3r, minus 4 over 3 times r, and our r there, we know our r is 8. So it is 16 minus, this gives you 32 all over 3. So if you subtract, you get 10.67. You get 10.67, or 10 and a third. 10 and 2/3. That is 10 and 2/3 will be the height. Will be the height. 16 minus that, okay, gives you 10 and 2/3 as the height of the smaller, the height of the cylinder. So we shall be having 10.67. 10.67. So from there we now do, we shall be having, this one is 144 times 16 divided by 3. This gives you 144 times 16 all over 3. This is pi minus, this is 64 times 10.67. Calculate and multiply. For 144 times 16 divided by 3, you get 768. Then we have pi. Then minus, this one you multiply by using your calculator, that is 64 times 10.67. If you multiply, you get 682. 682.88. 682, that is 64.88. Yes. Pi. If you get that pi, then you subtract the 2, the answer will be equal to, that is 768. 768 minus 682.88, you get 85. 768 minus 682.88, you get 85.12 pi. This, when you multiply times pi, then if you multiply 85.12, 85.12, if you multiply times 22 over 7, if you multiply times 22, you multiply 22 over 7, You'll get the answer as 267.52 centimeters squared. That becomes the volume of the good that they made. The volume of the good that they made. Thank you for listening to my tutorial. Subscribe for more updates. Thank you.